Was that date at the amusement park really your first date? Fu Nancheng frowned. Did Wen Shaoqian tell you? He guessed it at once. It doesn't matter who told me, you just have to tell me if it's true or not. Yes, he answered readily. It turns out that was really his first date, no wonder he was so angry. Fu Nancheng looked down at her and reached out to pinch her palm-sized face. Next time you see my mother sick, just call me. Don't rush to her like a fool, I'm afraid she'll hurt you. Zhuxi still didn't speak. Zhuxi looked at him. He looked at her while raising his two hands. He quickly curved his thin lips and said, "Why don't you speak? Are you scared?" Zhuxi looked at his cold and resolute face and said softly, "Mom is so good to me, what should I be afraid of? But you, has Mom ever hurt you?" Fu Nancheng froze. This time it was Fu Nancheng who did not speak. The next second, Fu Nancheng lowered his head and kissed her red lips hard. Zhuxi's slender arms were still hanging around his neck. Maybe she forgot to clench her teeth, allowing him to invade her violently, robbing her of her breath for a while. Coming to the bed, Fu Nancheng stretched out his hand and threw her into the soft, big bed. Zhuxi felt dizzy, and at this moment his tall body pressed down on her. Fu Nancheng pulled her hand and their fingers intertwined. "I won't touch you today, just sleep with me." I heard him ask this when my head was dizzy. Before Zhuxi understood what he meant, he had already pulled the quilt over both of them. Her soft body was pressed into the mattress by him, and he kissed her red lips again. The next day, CC building entrance. Fu Yingying smiled happily and said, "CC, please go up, I have to go find my boyfriend." Zhuxi nodded. "Okay, go quickly, I'll treat you to dinner tonight." At this moment, Sun Yiming came. "Yingying, why are you here?" "Sun Yiming? Yingying's boyfriend?" Zhuxi raised her head and looked at Sun Yiming. Sun Yiming is 1.8 meters tall, looks gentle and handsome, and has very good looks. Fu Yingying's face turned pale. "Ming, aren't you in school?" Sun Yiming saw Fu Yingying standing in front of him. He froze. Damn it, why did Fu Yingying come over without saying hello? The woman beside Sun Yiming looked Fu Yingying up and down. "Who are you? Do you know my boyfriend?" Fu Yingying looked at Sun Yiming with teary red eyes. "Yiming, what's going on? Why did she call you?" Sun Yiming said, "As you can see, I'm just having fun with you. Besides, you look like this, so you wouldn't think I'm serious with you, right?" Fu Yingying looked at Sun Yiming with red eyes and tears in her eyes. Then she turned and ran away. "Yingying!" Zhuxi wanted to chase after her, but Fu Yingying ran quickly. She became very anxious. Sun Yiming also wanted to chase after her, but then a ghostly figure stopped him. Zhuxi blocked him and slapped him directly. "You trash! You even lied to Yingying that you were a student, but I think you're just a disgusting animal." Sun Yiming was shocked. "Who are you? Why are you minding other people's business? Just mind your own business." Zhuxi did not answer him, but took out a card from her bag. "Aren't you too poor to go to school? I'll give you tens of thousands of yuan as charity." Zhuxi knew that Sun Yiming was a money man, and with a pop, the cards in his hand fell to the ground. Why not?" Sun Yiming squatted down and picked up the card. But at this moment, a foot stepped up and stepped hard on his hand. Sun Yiming stiffened and then looked up. "Ah!" Now he was squatting, and Zhuxi was looking down at him condescendingly, with clear and fragmented light in her bright eyes. She said slowly, "That's right. Remember, you should eat free food on your knees." After saying that, Zhuxi left. "Sun Yiming, I didn't expect you to be this kind of person. Let's break up." Zhuxi took out her phone and found her brother's WeChat. Zhuxi sent a WeChat message. "Help me fire Sun Yiming from the technical department. Cece doesn't need this kind of rubbish." He replied very quickly, "Yes." Fu family's old house, Fu Nancheng's bedroom. Yingying must have been deceived by the scumbag because she cared too much about her birthmark. I have to find a way to give the incense pill to her. Zhuxi returned to her and Fu Nancheng's room, but as soon as she opened the door, a big hand reached out and pulled her in. Fu Nancheng held her against the wall. Zhuxi was startled and punched him with her fist. "Fu Nancheng, what are you doing?" Fu Nancheng's big hand fell on her soft waist and pinched it hard. Fu Nancheng pulled her into his arms. Fu Nancheng pinched her slender waist and said in a low voice, "Do you feel it?" She started to push him. Fu Nancheng's tall and straight body did not move at all. "I want to talk to you about something serious, so let me go first. I asked King for the birthmark removing pills. Remember to give them to Ying Ying next time you see her." "Why don't you give it to her yourself?" At this time, she took out a small bottle and said, "I'm afraid she will remember unhappy things. I can help you, but what can you do to thank me?" At this moment, the man directly reached out and picked her up. "What are you going to do?" The sudden feeling of weightlessness scared Zhuxi. "What do you think?" Arriving at the bed, Fu Nancheng sat her on his lap. The girl's innocent pupils were rippling again, black and full of water. Fu Nancheng's eyes darkened. She had such a big reaction to just one sentence. How pure. This time, the man's slender fingers fell to his belt. Fu Nancheng pulled his hand and told him to untie his belt. "Help me untie it." It took Zhuxi a few seconds to understand what he was talking about, and her black and white pupils suddenly shrank. Don't! Soon, a melodious cell phone ringtone rang and he got a phone call. "Your phone, answer it!" Zhuxi seemed to have grabbed a life-saving straw and quickly pushed him away. But Fu Nancheng forcefully held her in his arms. "Are you sure you want me to answer it?" In fact, they had been together before, but this was the first time since they confirmed their relationship. She was shy, nervous, and afraid, and he took off her clothes. Her cheeks were rosy now, and the delicate redness was like a crabapple tree waiting for rain. Fu Nancheng narrowed his handsome eyes and laughed angrily. The cell phone in his pocket kept ringing. He took it out and saw that it was Su Qianru calling. He answered the phone. "Hello?" At this moment, she pulled her body away from his body, but she found that every time she pulled her body like this, she rubbed against the soft texture of his clothes and even felt his body temperature being transmitted into her skin. Fu Nancheng raised his eyebrows. "Be quiet. Do you want others to hear?" Zhuxi stopped moving, then Fu Nancheng pulled her and trapped her in his arms. The man had just taken a shower and his delicate and three-dimensional features looked particularly young and handsome. Fu Nancheng curled his lips. Fragrant pills? Zhuxi's face was red, and her delicate body was pressed against his chest by his erect figure, unable to move. Although she agreed to follow him last night, she was mainly there to retrieve the jade pendant, and he was too straightforward, thinking only of... Fu Nancheng was silent for a few seconds, then said, "I got it. Please ask my assistant to talk to you if you have anything to say." "Didn't you ask me to answer the phone? You have a strong desire for revenge?" Fu Nancheng stretched out his hand and threw her into the soft, big bed. Fu Nancheng didn't say yes or no, he just grabbed her little hand and taught her to hug his neck. "It's so hot, I'm melting!" Zhuxi's heartbeat suddenly accelerated. Zhuxi's slender legs trembled. At this time, he pressed down, and the fresh scent of a man who had just bathed enveloped her completely. He kissed her very hard, and she frowned in discomfort. He slowly became gentler. Fu Nancheng hugged her soft waist and felt her innocent kiss. He found that he liked everything about her, including her kiss. She was like a feather gently teasing him. Everything was just right, making him unable to stop. Grasping the back of her head with his big hands, he took the initiative and deepened the kiss.